talk about what's going on there. What I have done is I have taken a drum groove, in this case the Bo Diddley beat, which we'll discuss in a second, and put it onto my guitar. This is a great thing to work on if you are a guitar player, which you probably are if you're watching this, and you're kind of getting to a place where you're a little bored of your strum patterns. Now, before I continue, you can get tabs and other supplemental information at my website, www.erichaugenguitar.com, for information about all the nifty sound gadgets I'm using here below and in my computer. Go ahead and click on the description box underneath in your YouTube player. And for other supplemental goodies, you can find me on patreon.com/erichaugenguitar. Continuing, the diddley beat, if you don't know it, is a very awesome drum groove that goes, well, for lack of a better term, or lack of a sample. If I can find one, I'll pull one up and play it back now. Let's look at how it adapts to guitar. So the original diddley beat, if you're not aware, let's take a G chord, G bar chord, 3rd fret. Let's slow it down. Yeah, I play drums too, so this stuff crosses over and it impacts the way I think about things a lot. So yeah, a drummer would be going. On guitar, we go over here to our G chord, and the tricky bit is there's an accent on that, was it 1, 2, 3, 4th note. It shows up in so many songs, this rhythm. It's not just in Bo Diddley. Notice how this is going back and forth, but the accent's moving in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, bang, bang. There he is. Notice how I'm only squeezing when I am accenting. That's our diddley beat, and that's, a good beat to know, so go ahead, practice that. Now, where things get interesting is when I think to myself, what if I move this down to like an A position? Then I'd have, there it is. Same thing, and then I was like, well, a drummer only has a couple of things that they can hit. I have many things that I can hit, so I can start to move notes around. So on those last 2 accents, I started to think about, well, I could change the notes, couldn't I? You'll hear this. Bob Dylan's Cold Iron Bounds comes to mind on, not on Time Out of Mind, because yeah, I think that one, I know that, who's the guitar player on that, does a similar thing. So we got the accent, so accent. Now that little bit there, this is from Jerry Reed's The Claw. So I'm thinking A blues, and I'm grabbing that E flat there, and taking him off to 0. 1, 0, and I get that one there. That's our main riff there. Come back. And I just had to do something a little different. Same idea though, thinking blues notes on my A string. 3, 0, 3. That's the riff. By the way, if I'm talking too fast for you, you can slow the video down to 3/4 speed. It's sometimes fun to do. I try to go slow. The muting is the tricky part. Oh, AC/DC does this all over the place too. Malcolm Young, rest in peace. He's good at this stuff. Then, I think I close it out by just moving, well, I don't close it out, I move it up an octave because I'm always like, well, that was in that spot. What if I do a similar thing out of this? Out of my 5th position, A blues. Let's look at my pretty Telecaster here. So, to transition, I did a, no, sorry, I go up. Yep, that's blues riffs, Ernie's. 7 goes up a little bit. 5, chromatic, or well, the blue note. 8, 7, 5, and then I'm thinking of this structure of A, the upper part. So yeah, now my accent is this 5 and 5 up here, and my root is that 7 there, so I'm kind of thinking like a... And then we got a little bendy, a double bendy on my 7 and 7 of my G and B. Cool thing, yeah, don't use 2 different fingers for this. Just go ahead and throw flat. A magical thing happens where the G goes up a whole step and the B string only goes up a half. So you end up getting like a... Yeah, cool James Burton trick. Different phrase, you know, just using call and response. 5 and 5, 7 and 7. And then I did a longer kind of blues tail to close it out. So that is 8 goes up a little. 5, 8, 5. Go down there, so you got... And then just a 5, 7 on that G. Alternate A7 form. Oh, 7, 6, 8. That was just one of my favorite drum grooves. Now, if you watch other of my videos, because I play drums and some other instruments too, I listen to like so much stuff, and I just am always thinking, what if I put that on guitar? Well, let's pick another groove, for example. Oh, I used to play in a Motown cover band in Boston, so let's think about Motown. There's a Motown beat that I affectionately refer to as the backwards beat, because snare is on every beat. It's going to go. Let's say, Nowhere to Run is a good example of that. Now I'm going to play Nowhere to Run, not in the right key, but it'll be a good example of this groove. Notice how, yeah, your snare is on every beat, and the kick is actually on the and of 3 and the and of 4. Interesting groove, definitely different than our standard guitar stuff that we do. So I'm going to be thinking of an A chord. I'm going to focus on the top ones only. So that's my snare drum. My bass drum is my low string. By the way, you can do this like crazy with your fingers if you're a finger person. Lindsey Buckingham, Mark Knopfler. I mean, yeah, there's going to be a lot of that crossover going on, but I figure most of us are more comfortable with a pick, so I'm teaching this stuff with a pick. So yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and back that shape up to 5, 4, 3, 3, which is a G, but still over A. Where am I? So you only get 1, 2. Hey, that's a nice inversion. That's a D over F sharp. 2, here's our D chord. You could try and do that. I wouldn't recommend it. I would go ahead and flatten out that index finger there, so you'd have 4, 2, 3, 2. So that's our Motown groove on Nowhere to Run to, baby. Boy, that's cool. That's cool and sounds kind of nice. Oh, what if I wanted to make it into something evil and sinister? I know how. So what I did there was I took that same idea of 1, 2, 3, and 4 and put it on E minor chord. And then, because I'm me, I'm like, where's some blues notes with my E minor? Where's our E minor blues scale? So, let's see there. Am I showing too much chest today? I'm going to edit this out, or maybe I'll leave it in. There, we're less scandalous now. Is that nicer? Okay. So what we got there are blues. So I'm going 1, 2, there's that B flat. there's my G, and then my A. Yeah, so you got... It's gonna get weirder in a second. C major 7. There's a C chord. Pull your index finger off. Makes a C major 7. But then I know that I'm gonna need more low areas, so I'm gonna go. If I want to get really weird, I can do the same thing I did earlier, go up to this position. But I'm weirder than that. I'm going to watch this. Oh, hold on, wait. There it is. So I'll include that in the tab. That's just me getting pretty far out there with my weirdness and weird dronies and things like that. To close it out, let's do one more of my favorite grooves. So literally I could just go through my record collection and just pick some of my favorite songs and then think about what happens when I put them on guitar. I'll take a quick tuning break because I did a whammy bar dive, so now my guitar is slipping. You know, usually it doesn't. This mastery holds it pretty well, but I did put on new strings like yesterday. Oh, I got new pickups, Tom Brantley custom pickups. They sound good. Oh, and he redid the wiring too. So, oh, Susie Q, an underloved song. We all know the song, we don't even notice how good the drum beat is. That drum beat, so the ride and the snare are doing, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, but the kick is actually on the end of every beat. Well, I'll just pull up a sample. Hopefully I won't get a copyright strike for doing that. Okay, I'll only play it that long. Now, let us discuss, how that adapts. So if the kick is going... So I'm going to do, this is an old song I wrote, I'm going to adapt to that. So our pattern is going to be on a B minor. So I'll just thumb on the 9. Oh, sorry, 7s, all 7s. There it is. Now I'm going to get weird. Ready? Okay, let me tell you what I'm doing there, because it is a cool chord progression. You got your B minor, 9's out, and then I'm really doing an A with that B below it, so you know, there's an A, 7, 6, 5, and then that time I'm going to just flat out, then an E9, that's James Brown chord. Oh yeah, there's the diddly beat there. 7, 6, 7, 7. Some kind of walk up, octave walk up, 2 and 4 to a G. I'd use this chord in my other lesson that I shot today. G major 7, thumb on the 3, 4, 3, 2. Oh, let's get weird now. Well, okay, so in conclusion, before I play us out, listen more. Listen to everything. Listen to the keyboards, listen to the strings, but yeah, this one is talking about listen to those drums and realize basically a bass drum is a low frequency, a snare drum is a high frequency. You can cop that somehow on your guitar. So this also makes you your drummer's best friend, because if they're playing some kind of cool beat, you have a starting point to match up with them. To which I say this: Every time I lock in super tight with a drummer, they know I'm doing it, and then they start changing what they do. So be aware that if you try and do this with a real drummer, they'll probably, just to mess with you, change what they do a little bit. But it does help to kind of be like, well, if you're going to do that, I'm going to do this. Oh, now let's just throw on some effects and play that thing. Thanks for watching.